Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, four-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight we have an amazing guest by the name of Jamisa McIvor. Jamisa McIvor is a 25-year-old wife, mother, and groundbreaker with an amazing testimony. Currently the deed holder of 18 properties, all in which she has purchased with no mortgages. Starting out as a novice investor and mastering the craft, she became the CEO of Rosebud Investments, which is a very popular amongst new investors and people who may be looking to get started and are not sure how. She has taken her innovative spirit and created a strategy that makes real estate investing as simple as can be for people of all ages and walks of life. She's a truly gifted intellectual with the ambition and strong desire to uplift and build those around her. Welcome to the table, Jamisa.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Listen, every time I hear my bio, I start smiling like, that sounds good. That sounds real good.
Yes, and you have an amazing testimony, an amazing story. So tell us more about your entrepreneur journey.
Okay, so it started when I was 19, unbeknownst to me. So what happened is when I was 19 years old, I did a dollar deed transfer with my grandma. And for those of you who don't know what a dollar deed transfer is literally something shared amongst family members where you add yourself to the deed of one of your family members for $1. That's a way to negate transfer tax and things of that nature. So what ended up happening was we did the dollar deed transfer. I mean, it didn't really mean much to me at that time. I know what it meant, right? But my grandma still lived there, so I was like, okay, I'm just on a piece of paper. I was doing my own thing, still living my own life. And then she died like a year after that, maybe a year and a half. And at that point, reality kind of set in for me because I didn't know what it meant to actually be a homeowner. So I wasn't prepared for taxes. You know, we didn't have a talk about what I should do with the responsibility that she had left to me. So in the beginning of it, I want to say for the first few months, I just tried really hard to keep up with it. She did have a few wishes. One of them was that she didn't want it to be sold. She said that this was all we had, keep it in the family. She said that she didn't want the family to argue over it. She said that she wanted that to be the family house. I was supposed to be the landlord, collect rent, all of that stuff. So I tried to keep up with that bit for a good while, but money tends to bring out the worst in people sometimes, right? So me being the youngest of the children she had, it just didn't work out that well. They were all really entitled and really upset with the decision that she had made. They made it super duper hard for me. At that point, I sold it. I literally just sold it. I sold it for $152,000, which was good because I was about 20 years old. And it wasn't bad until I found out that I could have sold it for $350,000 or more. So at that point, that's when my journey began because I made it a strong point to not know, like, I'm never going to not know something again. Like, that was serious to me. Like, what? That's $250,000 that I left on the table. How? Like, I wanted to know how. So I kind of jumped headfirst into real estate. I went to real estate school first. That was the most obvious thing that I thought would be best for me. I learned the terminology. I also realized that I would have to share with the broker. I didn't like that idea much because I already had money on my own without a broker. So I was like, don't like that. And that is when I made the distinction between investor and agent. You can be both. But at the time, I just made a choice. I said I want to be an investor. I worked with other people, other investors. So I got on Instagram. I listened to some podcasts. I listened to some little shows and stuff on YouTube. And that's when it really started for me at that point.
Awesome. So tell us more about you from there. Once you got into the investment industry, you started CEO of Rosebud Investments. So tell us more about your investment company, the services that you offer, and how you can help people get there.
Okay, so as I started my journey, I took a really strong liking to real estate, because in the most obvious form is literally everything. that we partake in on a day-to-day basis. You go to work, you walk into a building. When you're born, that's a hospital. You die, you get buried. You're driving on a driveway. Somebody owns it. Even the air you breathe, someone has air rights. So when you start really to dissect it and break it down, it was like super necessary for me, right? And I just started learning, and it was crazy. It was like the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn. It was like crazy for me. But then I also realized that it was a lot of other people who could benefit from what I was learning. I'll give you an example. So I made a stop at an auction because I wanted to buy more houses. Like, that was a definite. If one house got me that much money, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go buy more houses, duh. So I went to the auction, and I purchased a property for $1,700. There was people purchasing properties for $2,500. Now, go figure. At this point, I have the money, but I'm like, wait a minute. I could have saved this, from a little cashier gig. How many people don't know this? And the obvious look around told me there's a lot of people who don't know this, because the people who were there weren't the people who needed to be there. If that makes sense to you. It's like people's in it, their families losing the houses. Y'all not in here buying them? That's crazy. So that was that. And then my first Rosebud client, because my grandma's name was Rose, so that's where Rosebuds come from. But my first Rosebud client was a friend, and they were going through something with the situation in which the father had a house. They wanted to buy the house, but they didn't have money. And I shared my story with them. I said, listen, do a dollar deed transfer. This is your dad. You can do it debt-free. Once it's in your name, pull the equity out because there's no debt on it. Use some of that money to pay him back and use the rest to reinvest. I did that. I told him that for free, literally, about 3 seconds of a conversation. He made $70,000. I said, oh, that was good. Then I did it again with somebody else. They had a real estate question, and I'm in the thick of it. I'm learning all types of things left and right. So I'm like, yeah, well, you should just try this. Gave them some information. They made $200,000. Now, keep in mind, this is free. This is me just having general conversations with my friends. They're doing the stuff that I'm saying, and they're making a lot of money. And I said, okay, this is a thing. Maybe I should charge for it. So once I started to charge for it, it just grew, and it was strictly referral-based. So I'm one of the worst marketers ever. I'm learning to, really work on my marketing now, but this is such a thing for me because I live it. I believe it. Like, it's everything. I eat, sleep, breathe real estate. I was just like, when I went live, I was telling them. I walk live now because the followers like it, but when I originally started, it just was because I admired my neighborhood. At 25 years old, I'm one of the youngest people here, gated community, beautiful homes. And that's because I believe in this. Like, real estate has changed my life. So when I said it to people, they received it really, really well. And then when it actually worked, it just grew out of nowhere. Like, I would help one person, and that person would tell the next person, and so forth and so on. So at Rosebud's Investment, we literally just give you hand-holding through the new investor process, step by step, no matter where you are. We help people from all walks of life. I'm talking about from people who have no money at all with horrible credit. We're getting them deals in 30 days, not with wholesaling. We're like taking you to auction. We're getting you $600 investment property, showing you how to flip it to make some money. Then you can use that money to fix your credit. People who are the opposite, they might have money. We're telling them where to put it. This is how you invest. This is a good investment. This is what the market looks like. This is what it means when I tell you about the market. If you're the opposite, you're somebody who has credit and I'm telling you, listen, this is how you leverage your credit. You can purchase a property with a credit card, okay? You can sell your credit to other people, So we really just personalize a strategy for you. No matter who you are or what you have going on, we can help you. Because there's so many strategies when it comes to real estate that it's ridiculous. Like, I could tell you 1,000,001 things right now about how you can get started. And a lot of people have this real big misconception. And they're like, nah, can't do it. Have bad credit. I don't have any money. I'm like, okay, but you have time. Use that time to educate yourself, because that whole credit and no money thing, that's a distraction. That's what you tell yourself. Yeah.
Love this journey. Love this. And and so basically you did all of this with doing the dollar deeds basically with each person, correct?
Oh, listen, that one property that my grandma left me is now a $2.8 million portfolio. That's it. Before that, I was a cashier. That's it. And when I sold my grandma's house,
how did you turn that into a $2.8 million portfolio?
So the first year I bought 9 houses. I'll just say that. What happens is when I sold it, I had money. So I had $152,000. I reinvested. Things started to slow up for me after the first year, about a year and a half, because I ended up being house rich and cash poor. But I still had the tenant income because I'm buy and hold. That's my strategy. I love that strategy. So it was a few times I had to play Monopoly, meaning I would have to sell one to buy 2 more. And then I just kept doing that. And that just pretty much got me to number 18. I'm at 18 right now. So today I have 18 debt-free. I don't have any mortgages. God forbid if I start leveraging. Oh, no, I might be buying the White House. But, yeah, so I literally just kept reinvesting over and I still now, to this day, I reinvest all the time. I don't even buy.
And you teach people the strategies on how to do that.
I do. Hand-holding, step by step.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. I mean, you have 18 in your name this day with no mortgages behind it, debt-free.
Not one mortgage, debt-free.
Amazing story. So you've taken your innovative spirit and created a strategy that makes it, real estate investing, more fun. So what are some others? I know you do that part, but do you have any other services outside of that? Is it different ones that you teach your clients? Because I say you started out as a novice investor, right? Can you tell people more about that? Because people might not know what that is, what that investor is. Can you talk more about that?
So just being a novice investor means I really didn't know too much about anything at the time. And I had to toy around with a lot of stuff. So I like to make it a joke, like, haha, I was a crash test dummy. But I'm serious. Like, I really was a crash test dummy for real estate. So I've learned things like private lending. Now I am a private lender. But that was another way that I helped my money grow outside of the portfolio. So when I got down to, like, my last $20,000, I invested it to somebody who had a project. They needed money to finish out the project. And I think they gave me back money at, like, 50% interest or something like that. So I learned about private lending. Now I'm a broker, and I'm also a private lender. So if you have a good deal, I'll fund it for you. Like, literally, you bring me a deal, and I'm like, okay, what is it? What's the numbers? Let's look at it, and I'll help you get through your real estate deal because some people don't have the money. Like, they don't have the money. I was like, okay, I'll fund the money for you because the deal kind of supports the numbers, right? So I don't have to worry about you not paying me because contracts are real. So if something goes wrong with it, I know that my equitable interest is protected by the value of the property. So that's something else that I offer. I offer sheriff sale, like intense sheriff sale training because I think that sheriff sales are one of the most slept on places in the world. Like, you can literally get a property almost 80% below market value just because it's at the auction. And people don't go there. Maybe they don't know about it. I don't know. So that's something that I offer as well. We'll do auction trainings. And I'll break down the auction for you, and then I'll take you to the auction to help you purchase a property. So that's something else that I offer. It's really pretty much just like a one-stop shop for real estate. So we got the financing that'll help you pay for the house. We have the auction that'll help you actually buy the house. We have the real estate investment call, which is that step-by-step blueprint, which pretty much just gives you the GPS to where it is you say you want to go in real estate. So, look, we can find you the house. We can get you the house. We can pay for the house, all of those things. And then the investment call will pretty much just outline how you keep the wealth. Because once you get the house, okay, so this is how you'll get another one. And this is what you should do when you get another one. And we really just create a structured plan for you to just keep you going. Because it's all about that generational wealth. To me, that's super duper important because my grandma didn't know. I'm sure she didn't know. Because if she did, she would have done it, right? Because it was her house. Same house.
Right.
But she died in. And it happened, like, between 6 months and a year after she died. So it wasn't like it appreciated way after. No, she could have did it, right? She didn't know. But that one house literally changed generations after her. Like, she made
$2.8 million portfolio.
She made such an impact. One that she won't ever see. I mean, she's in heaven, so she may see it, but she's not able to enjoy the fruits of her labor. But the thing is, I think that's what it's about, especially in our community. I just feel like it's super duper important because I see a lot of us just running the same race over and over and over, and then we complain about what we don't have. And it's not about what you don't have. If you don't go get it, you don't have anybody to blame. Like, we like to just say that we're oppressed all the time, like the oppressor. But don't allow yourself to be oppressed. If you have an opportunity, take it. It's land out here to be bought. It's money out here to be made. It's opportunities to be taken. Like, even for me, even how I got on this show, I ain't going to tell them because I don't want them using my strategy to harass you. You can share it if you want. I take opportunity. Listen, if I see it, I'm going to go for it because it's mine. It's for me. If it didn't work, okay, great. But it's never going to be that I don't have something because I didn't try. I'm going to go get it. So I'm going to see if it's for me or not, right?
I love it.
Yeah, listen. I'm telling you, People better
Shoot
understand
your
that it's
shot.
your life. You got to take charge of it. Shoot your shot.
Yes, yes,
You got to shoot your shot. Because when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, what do you have to lose, really, right? You got everything to gain. What do you have to lose? We got to think about it. You know, whatever you got going on right now, you know what that has gotten you because this is what you have and this is what you have had. So what do you have to lose? Weigh those options, man. Those calculated risks really can change your life. I'm telling you.
Calculated risk. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Now, I know we got listeners that are listening that may be interested in going into real estate investing, or they might already be in there, already in this industry. So do listeners need a real estate license in order to be an investor, in order to be a real estate investor? Is it better to have a license? Is it more advantages, or what are the pros and cons?
I can't say what's better because everything is a case-by-case situation, so it depends on you. The pros with having a license, you have access to the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. So it's just like a database, right? So it gives you a broader reach when looking for certain things. What else is the pros? I mean, I guess the network part of it, but you can still have a really strong network as an investor. What else is really good as an agent? I don't know. See, my thing is, I know a lot of agents who are really good, and they're investors too, but I also know real estate agents who do a lot of selling other people's houses, but they don't have any, right? And that's not a shot at them, and that's no disrespect, but I'm not going to make people a fortune if I don't have one for myself. And that's because the cons, as you mentioned, is one, first of all, you have to split your commission with the broker. I hate that. Like, I did all this work. I don't want to share my money. You are protected, so that's another pro because you're protected by your broker, so they got your back kind of on the legal side. But then again, the cons, like you have to fight for these listings because once you first start out, you don't get like the good listings, right? You get the ones that are not so good. You got to rank up. Sometimes it can be a situation where they're really cliquish. They're not sharing their deals with you. It's a lot of, like, you got to weigh the options and just kind of think about what's best for you because you might go under a brokerage who's really good and they're really embracive and they take you in and, But for me, I mean, my husband, for example, because he's 27 years old. I'm 25. We were young. Like, we both had regular jobs. Like, I was the cashier. He worked at the car wash. And we were just like normal people. I was like, okay. Once I started to do real estate, I forced it down everybady's throat. Like, look at what I can do, especially when I got that $1,700 property from the auction. Oh, that was it. I was like, look. You have $1,700, babe. Let's go. Okay. He started to wholesale. Listen, no real estate license. He started to wholesale property. His first wholesale deal, he got it by knocking on someone's door. Literally, door knocking. Right? He's insane. Don't ask me. I didn't get out the car. I had my foot on the brake. I didn't even put it in park because if something would have went wrong, he would have had to jump in. I would have had to pull off. I was ready, right? Knocked on the guy's door. I was so serious. I cannot make this stuff up. It's crazy, but this is a real thing. So he knocked on this guy's door. He pretty much told him without telling him that his house needed some work. He said, your house is ugly. I don't know exactly how he worded it because I was in a car, but I do know the aftermath was the guy saying, yeah, I want to fix it up. I can't get a loan. I can't sell it either because it was in my dad's name and he died. So I was like, me, the research queen. I'm like, no, we can probate it, right? This was my first probate ever, but it wasn't hard. I Googled how to walk this guy through a probate. So, again, this guy was living in his house all this time. That was ugly, all because he didn't take the time to Google how to probate a property. Long story short, we got it probated for him. It took us about a week. Pretty much had to go through the Register of Wills office, prove that the guy was his dad, all of that stuff. End up selling it. That wholesale deal was $30,000. My husband made. That was what he made. So the property sold for like $150,000 or $60,000, something like that. But all because he knocked on the door. Can you imagine making $30,000 because you knocked on somebody's door? That's a sin. Without a license. Without a license, right? So when you start to see those kind of checks, when you see those type of possibilities, you're not too keen on going back to work. Instead, you decide to just put all your work and effort into that. Because the education behind it. So this is what makes it so cool. Granted, you make money. I do like that. I like that I make money. It's great. I'm a millionaire just through the real estate with the landlord and piece, but then Rosebud's Investments is also a six-figure business, referral-based. So I really take pride in it. But the thing is, you work really, 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 really hard, and when you stop, you still get to enjoy the benefits of the work you put in. And then not only that, the people that you love get to enjoy them too. So we have children. And they're small. They're 1, 2, and 5 years old. And when we die, they literally can live a completely different life than the one we started out with, right? Now, It wasn't horrible, the life we lived, but it was, like, normal, like the standard. Growing up in poverty, I was from South Philly, he was from North Philly. Our children, however, don't even know what that is. They have to, like, push the buttons on the gate to come home. Their community is amazing. They have options, no debt. Like, they can still go to school. I'm not against it. But they're not going to know Sally Mae or Susie Mae. What's the other one? Like, I made enough to pay off my student loan debt, thank God, right? But I have people, clients, that come to me, and they're in $250,000 worth of debt. That's horrible because now you're in this funnel. So you have to work to pay back the loans that you got. And it's like, okay. And by the time you get done paying them back, I mean, what's left? Do you even get a chance to really live because you're just so caught up? It's this trap that you make for yourself. Like, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go in debt to go to school. And then I'm going to work to pay off the people. It's like sick to me, right? Instead of just saying, I'm going to get a tenant and I'm going to rent it out and I'm going to pay my tuition. I mean, be responsible. When you get the money, do what you want to do with it. Make it worth your while. Get yourself a tenant. Have your tenant paying that rent and have that rent cover your tuition. So now you leave that free. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be happy that you have a degree, but you shouldn't have a degree and a burden. That's not fair. You already worked hard enough. Getting a degree, that's hard work. Like, I applaud people who go through it. I went to college, my brain was melting out my ears. I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. It was crazy. It was crazy. So people who do get it done, I'm super proud of them. But it's like, at what cost? Like, what do you have to show for it? You have to really make sure that you know what you're doing. Just giving people their freedom. Like, I feel like parents force that on children because that's all they know. They're so afraid of everything else. Education, education, education. I'm going to be honest. In this world that we live in, education is no match for what we're up against. And I'm talking about formal education. Now, if you're talking about real life skills, credit, interest rate, stock market, stuff like that, stuff that America actually thrives off of, then cool. Jump head first into learning that stuff. But if you're going to tell somebody to go to school and be a freshman, that whole time you in there figuring out who you are and what you want to be. That's why you change your major so much, because y'all don't even know. You're sending these kids to school at 17 and 18. They don't know what they want to be. And a couple years before that, they didn't know either. You're talking about the same kid that wanted to be a firefighter. They don't know, but they paying to figure it out. And then when they finally do figure it out, they drowning in all of that debt. So it's like, can I even do it? Because now you're stressed. You can't even go get a house. You don't work hard, graduated school. You can't buy a house because your debt to income ratio jacked up from that credit score because you owe these people for some student loans. You can't even buy a car because your interest rate is horrible because your credit is bad because of your student loans. You can't even live. The whole purpose of them saying go get an education is so we can live a better life, right? Okay, no, that's not how it works. So you really got to just think about what's going to work best for you. You have to definitely be self-aware. So when I speak on ownership, I mean it like in all aspects of your life. First of all, ownership of self. You got to own yourself, own who you are. If you know that what you need to do is go to school, okay, buckle down and get it done. No problem. But if you don't know what you want to do, don't go to school just to make somebody else happy, because they don't have to live with those regrets. You do. When it's time for you to be in debt, you take that walk alone. When they garnishing your wages, you're doing that all by yourself. Like, that's a one-man show. So you guys have to really just be mindful of what it is that needs to be done out here and just get it done. Don't force it down your kids' throat. Tell them what they need. Have those talks about credit. It's okay to have bad credit as long as you acknowledge the fact that you have bad credit and you take the steps to correct it. Everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. You weren't taught what to do with it. You weren't taught how to manage it. Good news is you can start without credit at all, and then you can make enough money to fix your credit, right? So I just tell people, take control of your life. Just take control of your whole life, like the whole thing, because we take it for granted, and we take it so serious. It's not like we're going to make it out alive anyway, right? You want to live now. Like those Roth IRAs, those 401ks, okay, great, have them. But the whole time your money is tied up in those systems, the people that have them tied up are using them for the stock market. They making buku money, and you wait until you're 50. If you touch it before you're 50, you're in trouble. But when you're 50, I don't know, you might not have as much fun as I'm having right now at 25. You might. I'm not saying that you won't. I'm just saying, I probably want to see it all the way through, because God forbid we don't even make it until we're 50. We take life for granted. Like, how do we know? We don't know. I just feel like while you have a chance to take a chance, you should. So that's the philosophy I love it.
And so you were a millionaire at 24, correct?
Yes.
Amazing story. So tell me, because you pretty much have. So basically, when you started out in real estate investing, so you didn't have a license, correct? You did not.
No,
so that's the
I
answer.
still don't.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So for our listeners that are listening, you don't have to. There's ways to do it without that. So how did you pretty much already done bought your whole table? I mean, you're millionaire was a millionaire at 24, so you pretty much done bought the whole table, right? So how did you create your seat at the table?
I didn't take no for an answer. So, all right. I don't even think I told you. So what happened when I first got my money, the agent who listed the property for me to help me sell it or whatever, he connected me with a financial advisor because I think he was nervous. He's like, what's this little girl going to do with this money? He asked me, as a matter of fact, what you going to do with all that money? I'm going to buy houses. So he was like, all right, I'm going to sit you down with my friend. You don't have to do anything, but I think it'll be good for you to talk to him. So I sat down and I talked to the financial advisor. We're in a really pretty big, shiny glass building. It was beautiful. And he told me I should put my money in a Roth IRA. And I don't remember the stipulations, but it just did not sit right with me. I know it was something about setting the money aside and getting it back when I was 50 and something crazy like that. And he was like, yeah, because that's a lot of money. You don't want to lose it. And you do have to keep in mind that statistics show that the majority of people who either inherit it or win money like at the lottery or something, they lose it because they didn't work hard for it, so they don't know what to do. He probably was under the impression like, yeah, she is about to go crazy. But I had other plans. So I respectfully declined. I told him no. And I took that money, and I started with building a table, and then I built some nice chairs, and then I pulled up at it, and I sat down. No, wait, I made the table, too. Can't forget I made the table, right? And then I sat down at it. That was it. But I could have easily said, yeah, let me just give him my money. I don't know. Because it's easy to just put the responsibility on somebody else. If I gave him my money, it would be his job to make it grow for me, right? It would be his job to make it work for me. I didn't take that. Because I'm going to figure this out. And I did. And I knew I would. Man, listen, if you can't bet on yourself, then what you betting on? I know me. I do not give myself the option to lose. I'm going to win something or I'm going to learn something. But I'm not going to lose anything, ever. That's always been me, and it paid off. So.
Wow. I love your story. I just love it. So we all have a process like to get to the next level. So what did success teach? What did failure teach you first? What did failure teach you?
That it's okay to fail before everything else. Before you can learn from a lesson, you got to acknowledge it. Like, you got to know that this was a lesson. Because sometimes failure just hurt. Just, like, I won because I lost. Had I not sold her house for what I sold it for and not learned that I sold it for far too cheap, I wouldn't be here. I could have easily took my 152 and just did something else, but no. Once I realized I sold it for less than I should have, I realized I failed. I was like, uh-oh. And then I took the initiative to figure out how I can do better the next time around, because that's all it's about. We're going to all fail. I still make mistakes now. I take pride in them. I be waiting. Like, oh, I messed up. How? Then I'm like, oh, let me try this again. Now it's like a little game for me. But failure taught me that it was okay to fail, because it's okay to fail. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect except Jesus Christ. That's why we're here, to make mistakes. That's the whole plan. So failure just told me, like, it's okay. It's not about how you fall down. It's about how you get back up.
I love it. It's always a lesson. It's a lesson to get to the next level. So what did success teach you?
That, listen, it's worth it. Success just taught me that it's always another level. If you think about it, like if you read the Bible actually tells you to invest. But if you think about it, it gives you hints, like it tells you you're made in the image of Christ. It says that. I know some people just not real religious. But if you just think about, even if you into, like, I don't know what it is when you think, like, evolution got you here or whatever. If you think about what it took for you to be created, no matter if you think you came from sand and a rock, or if you do believe that Jesus Christ created you, think about how amazing it is, just human life in itself, like what you had to do to get here. And then think about why you're not taking advantage of that. The fact that you're even here is a gift. It's amazing. Human life is amazing. If you just think about, like, I'm a mom, so you think about childbirth, like the pregnancy, you carrying a human, then you like, deliver. It's just crazy. You think that whoever created you did all of that for you to be, like, regular, like normal, like just to come here and do nothing? No, that was not ever the plan. So success, to me, just let me know that it was made for me. Like, I was made to be successful, and we all are made to be successful. Now, we could be made to be successful at different things, but I think that we all have a special gift, and we have that pulling. And far too often, people ignore it. They just go on with their regular whatever they have going on. like we're all made to be successful. So success just told me like I was made for this. When I started to really do stuff and see it turn out really well and make people money and change people's lives and have people become homeowners without the credit and all of that stuff, I'm like, I was made for this. Now, what if I just took that gift and ignored it and didn't do nothing with it at all? Then what? I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so glad that I did this. I'm so glad. And I take pride in it every single day, man. Literally, you know how you pray, you thank God for waking you up. I thank God for waking me up all the time. Then I get into it. I'm like, thank you for my brain, Jesus. Like, why do I think like this? Like, this is crazy. I'm thanking God for the little things. Like, God, thank you for that idea. Like, how did I really? Come on. Because I think outside the box all the time. And then when I started to talk to different people, like I was talking to a lady earlier, and she was talking to me about, like, marketing on the internet. Because I told you I'm like a bad marketer. She was talking to me about it. And she was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to send it to you. I said, you're going to do it all over? She was like, yeah. I was like, oh, my gosh, because that was intense. That whole sit-down session was intense to me. She was like, no, I just love what I do. I said, that's her gift. That's her gift. We all have a gift. Because I know if you told me that you would pay me $1 million an hour to do that, I would do it because I want the money, but I would do it kicking and screaming. When I tell you, as she was talking, my brain started melting again. I told you how it goes. My brain started melting out my ears. I was like, oh, my God, can I pay you to do this for me, please? Like, I don't want to do it. But she was like, yeah. And then you click this button and you move over here. And I was like, all right, okay. You know, and we all have that thing. That was her thing, but we all have a thing. So I just feel like we should all embrace whatever that thing is and be true to it. Don't worry about judgment. Don't worry about what people are going to think or what people are going to say, because you're going to hear that. Like in the beginning, I went through so much scrutiny. You weren't supposed to sell the house. That's not what she said. She said keep it. I mean, she also said don't argue when you guys are arguing. I went through, well, since you sold it, give me money. I need $50,000. Okay, and then everybody needed $50,000. $150 is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. First of all, you got taxes. You still have to live. I told you I went full-time entrepreneur after that. Bills still were there, you know, stuff like that. I went through so much stuff, but I didn't give up. I didn't care. I didn't give anybody anything. I did what I said I was going to do. My great-grandma, she raised me. She got everything back plus more. I love her. Love the ground she walked on. She's amazing. That was the only person I felt like I owed. That was the only person that I repaid. She's proud of me, right? She started first, like, you keep going. Whatever it is you got to do, you keep going. You keep going. I kept going. Now, just looking back, I've helped hundreds, close to thousands of people with this strategy. And I'm like, wow, look at that. I could have folded, though. Like, I really could. It was a lot. It was a lot of pressure. Like, if you're going to think about what other people say, you probably won't make it. Like I said again, you just got to bet on yourself and believe in yourself, because it's not easy. You got to be really willing sometimes to take that journey alone. Because now everybody's proud. Everybody clapping. Everybody, you was always so smart. You were always so smart. Oh, was I? Right? Now it's like, yeah, thanks, right? But in the beginning, I didn't get that type of positive feedback. But I didn't let that determine where I was going. I didn't let that determine the decisions that I was going to make. I said, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I got it done.
So. I love it. I love it. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019? Because, I mean, you are just doing some amazing things. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
Ah, man, I have something really, really, really big coming up. I don't want to. I want to jinx it. So wait.
Okay. We're gonna keep going. Move in silence.
I'm gonna make sure I tell you. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I tell you. But it's a really good program. So I'm doing a rent to own for women. For women who's like, listen, I heard what you said. I got this right now. I can't save nothing. I have to go to work. I can't flip anything. We have the rent to own for them, and you can rent these properties out. And we do service all cities and states. You can rent these properties out and eventually own them. We're not even taking credit into consideration. You just have to make your own time payments. And we also doing this thing with Airbnbs. So we're helping people purchase Airbnbs at a high level. Like we're talking about like 50-unit buildings. That's cooking up right now. So that's what you can, just stay tuned for that. Like, I'm excited about that. Everything else, you can follow me on Instagram and just watch it as it happens. You just got to see it. It's like a little TV show. Just tune in.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So how can everybody follow you on all social media platforms?
So on Instagram, it's at Rosebuzz Investments. The website is www.rosebudsinvestments.com. The phone number is 267-419-ROSE. So 267-419-7673. And the word rosebuds is plural and investments is plural. So sometimes people put rosebud without the S. You have to put the S at the end of both rosebud and the S at the end of investments. And you will find me Facebook as well, Rosebuds Investments.
I love it. So please follow and support her. As I stated, Jamisa, she's just amazing. She has an amazing story. I have really enjoyed this interview. For everybody that was listening, she gave some really nuggets. I mean, she pretty much told the process. So if you're interested in real estate investing, if you're interested in getting to the investment field, please reach out to her. As I stated, she's doing some great things, and I see great things ahead for you. Like, you already just breaking barriers. So I would like to thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come to the table to share your amazing testimony and story, and I look forward to bringing you back.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a really, really, really good time. Everybody out there, shoot your shot, man. If you don't do nothing else for the rest of 2019, believe in yourself and shoot your shot. Wherever you feel like you belong, whatever opportunity you feel like it's for you, go get it. Literally, go get it.
Because she definitely shot her shot, and Jamisa, I will be connecting with you, okay? So thank you for coming to the table. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State and my intern Savon from Virginia Commonwealth. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.